What is up, everybody? It is D to the J with the roll away. And guess what? It is that time again. Yes, you heard me right. It is time for episode 12 of My CP Does Not Define Me. Hope everybody is having a wonderful day today. And I have a super duper 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 great guest that's coming on my show today. I was just with her on Saturday. Miss Sunshine herself. She has Sunshine on Wheels, Miss Shana Thomas. Miss Shana, how you doing, sweetheart?
Hello. How are you doing, and how everyone out there doing?
I'm gonna tell you, I hope they're gonna be doing as good as we gonna be doing in just a few minutes here as we get this show going. So, Shana, let's go ahead and kick it off real quick. Just tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what you do and who you are. Let's get your introduction going.
All right, thank you very much, DJ. Well, as you know, I'm Shana Sunshine on Wheels, which is on www.letgoradio.net, and I can also be found on Facebook and Instagram. But I am a single mom of two, a boy and a girl, and I live with a disability called polymyositis. Right now, I'm just a talk show host and a proud single mom. That's what I'm doing now.
Well, that is good to know. There are a lot of single mothers and single parents out there that can be inspired by your story. Now, you said you have a disability called polymyositis. Did I say that right?
No, it's polymyositis.
Myo, not myro. Can you explain just a little bit about what that is?
Yes, this is a muscle disease that attacks your muscles. And so what it does is deteriorate your muscles. So over time, you begin to lose your strength in your muscles, which can turn into either being wheelchair bound, which is what I am. I use my mobilized wheelchair, as well as it may have an effect on your heart because, of course, your heart is a muscle.
Right.
So you have to be careful with that. But yes, that's what it is, a muscle disease that attacks your body. Okay,
now as everybody comes in, again, we've got Miss Shana Thomas, Miss Sunshine on Wheels herself, with us live on My CP Does Not Define Me. I'd like to welcome everybody on www.letgoradio.net and on Facebook Live. Now, the next question I have, Miss Shana, just talking about, now, you said, you can gradually lose your muscle tone over time and the use of your muscles over time. Is there anything that you can do to combat it? Can you work out? Can you make your muscles stronger so that the issues take longer to take effect?
Okay, now, you know what? That's a good question, DJ, because I have been doing a lot of research, and I have found out that some that has this muscle disease goes in remission, and it all goes along with the way that you eat. So if you can get on an anti-inflammatory diet, which cuts out all your processed foods, your sugars, eating more vegetables and fruits, drinking more water than anything, and trying to find foods that help you build, give you antioxidants. That's a good way to help you, as well as doing your physical therapy. Water aerobics is also good for it. You can actually try to gain strength from what muscle that you do have left. So there is a possibility that it can go in remission if I do what I have to do, as far as eating right, continue with the physical therapy and things like that. It could turn around.
Now, do you have a nutritionist, or do you do all of the meal prep and everything yourself?
It's myself. And, I love to cook. So it's a little struggle there because I still like things that's not good for me. But for the most part, if I stick to my anti-inflammatory diet like I'm supposed to, I could see a drastic change.
Awesome. So you and I both love to cook. I got the Cooking with Carter going on now.
Yeah.
I will tell you, I find, soda is my weakness. I love soda. I'm a soda guy, and I cut out soda for about a year, and it near about killed me. What do you find hardest about your diet?
What I find hardest about my diet is seeing, if I've done something different for myself to eat, and then seeing the children eating something different from me. That is my weakness. So if I
Right.
see them with fried chicken, I want a piece of fried chicken. If
Right.
I see them with a piece of cake, I want a piece of cake too.
Girl, you ain't got to tell me. Trust me, I understand that cake, boy. You be come on over here and get my belly.
A little pie, ice cream too. My friend.
Now, with the a lot with a CP as well can cause muscle deterioration as far as
Right.
atrophy. Now that's a little bit of a different level, but
Yes.
just talking about the loss of muscles altogether. Are you do you notice a difference year to year? I mean, as far as what you go through, what kind of things are you doing to combat it? Do you work out every day? Do you go to the? I mean, I know with COVID, it's kind of hard right now to go to the gym. What are
Yes.
you doing to combat your muscle tone loss aside from the diet?
Oh, yes, that's a good question, DJ. Now, what I have been finding myself doing now, because of course I like to crochet. So I crochet a lot to help with my hand strength to make sure that I'm able to at least still grip things,
Right.
as well as working with doing my daughter's hair. That helps gives me strength in my hands. As far as any exercising, we only do what the physical therapist allows me to do at home. So if
Mm-hmm.
that's like lifting my legs, stretching me
Mm-hmm.
as much as you can, and something as simple as giving me a bottle of water, 16-ounce bottle of water, I could use that as a weight to help lift, to help with my muscles because I'm not able to go on to weights yet, but
Mm-hmm.
anything as simple as a bottle of water or a canned good, I can use that at home to help give me strength. And also my different color
Sure.
bands that I use as well.
Sure, and which are very good. There's a couple of things that I can actually give you, and I'll do this, throughout the show. There's a group that I work with called Cerebral Palsy Sunrise, and
Okay.
I've been working with them for about 3 or 4 months now, I would say. And they do workouts with Miss Tina, and it's a free service that they offer, and I think they do it on Wednesday nights. And
Okay.
it's basically a wheelchair workout. It's from your chair, and it's really not. That's really not strenuous on your muscles. And of
Right.
course, you can talk to your physical therapist about what you want to do. But that would definitely, I think, help you out again. And that Cerebral Palsy Sunrise, you can check them out. The lady that runs it, her name is Jamie Aid. She is a fantastic individual, and she can get you in the right direction with Miss Tina, and I can also hook you up with her as well because I'm an admin for
Okay,
that
that
group.
would be awesome, DJ. I think that would be a good idea for me.
Yeah, I love the idea with the crochet and the doing your daughter's hair for the strengthening of the hands.
Yes.
Miss Wilson said that's a great idea. That is. People don't even realize when you work with hair, girl, I'm telling you, all the hand straight, you got tying them in a knot and putting them in a ball
Whew,
and all them
whew,
buns. Lord,
whew.
I
I'm
wish you could
telling you,
do
don't
something
let
with
it
my
be past their shoulders. You are in trouble, DJ.
girl. I wish you could do something with my hair now. I can't do nothing with it. So I just, I want to ask you this.
Sure.
All of us, struggle with problems. Everybody in the world struggles with problems. What is your inspiration to keep going? Where does it come from? What is your main source of determination to keep going?
Okay, besides God, of course, because if it's not for Him, I tell you, I'd be lost. But it's also looking at my children.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom as well. They are my main focus to never give up. And I want to show them as well as others that you could do anything you put your mind to.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I have been diagnosed with this is not the end of my life. It's just that sometimes I'm going to have my good days and I'm going to have my bad days, but I just have to keep on going regardless. Don't stop and don't allow anything to stop me from going on in life.
That's a great attitude to have, and I said earlier this morning I was doing an inspirational quote. Your attitude reflects your altitude, and that
You
is
better
that
believe
that
it.
is something I think in in the disabled community or in the community where problems can seem to kind of fall out of the
Hmm.
sky. You have to have a positive outlook on as much as you can. Where the negative comes in, you got to try to have the best positive outlook you can. Do your
Yes.
children help give you that?
DJ?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, that's my children. They help with everything. Let me tell you something. I don't want to toot their horns, but I am so proud of them. They are mature for their age. They're very respectful. They are helpful. They
Mm-hmm.
stand up for me. If they feel as though I'm not standing up for myself, they stand up for me. They know more about me than anybody, and they don't mind helping. And that's with anyone. They do not mind helping at all.
Awesome, awesome. So you said a girl and a boy.
Yeah.
How old are your children?
My son, he's 14. He'll be 15 in September. And my daughter just turned 13.
Wow. So you have two teenagers. I bet your refrigerator is never full.
Okay, let me tell you this. You mentioned it, refrigerators. Let me tell you something. And I was sitting here talking with my aide about this yesterday. I don't know what happened, what we was talking about, but I have two deep freezers now. And a regular refrigerator with a freezer to it. And I'm like, I want to buy stuff, but right now I'm so glad that we have the two deep freezers, because if not, I would be in trouble.
Yeah, I've got one. I've got one deep freezer, and then I've got my big freezer in my, that is the combination with my fridge. But I will tell you, it's, I've always wanted to be a dad. That's been one of my dreams.
Really, DJ?
Yeah, to come through. So to hear you say that your children are such a positive impact on your life,
yes,
that just makes me smile. I to not have to go through it alone, and to have that support group and that support team that we talked a little bit about that last Saturday.
right.
Miss Winnie has said 1,000 times, it takes a village, and it does.
Sure does.
And
It sure does. Because if it wasn't for like me having my mom here to help with the children, and then of course I have cousins that step in when my mom can't do it. So it's truly a blessing to have a great support, but yet they don't allow me to feel sorry for myself. They don't allow me to use my disability as a weakness.
And I don't want to say a lot of people do that, but to be honest, some do, and it's not. I understand we get down. We all have weak points. We all have things that we struggle with. But in your time of weakness, you can't stay there.
Right.
And we've got Charles on with us. We've got Miss Winnie on with us. We've got Miss Jill on with us. Man, people are just responding.
Hello, everyone.
I'm gonna tell you, they coming in left and right, Miss Shana. The sun is shining.
Right.
So sunshine on wheels. Now I want to ask you a question, a 2-part question. Now
Sure.
you seem like your mom is part of your sunshine. Tell us a little bit about your mom and what she means to you.
Okay, my mom, she's a go-getter. She's a fighter. You ain't going to tell her no. If you tell her no, she going to go around the back door to get in. That's how she is. She going to stand up. And if she got to fight you, she going to fight you too. She's very independent and strong.
Great.
And with her, if there's a will, there's a way. You better not tell her different. So that's who my mom is. Superwoman to me. Put an S on her chest. She is truly amazing. Believe it or not, she's truly amazing.
What traits do you have from your mom?
The traits that I pick up from my mom is not allowing anyone to get over on me, open up my mouth, speak, and always be determined, stay consistent. And if somebody tells you no, you better get up and find another way to do it and fight for yourself.
One of the expressions I've always heard is you're going to hear 10,000 no's before you hear a yes. But no is not the end. A lot of people take no and say, okay, because this person said no, I'm gonna stop. Yeah. That's one person. We have to remember in this world, and this is what I admire about you. I see you as that go-getter as well. So you talked about the go-getter trait that your mom has. I've
Yes.
noticed with you, and every time that we talk, if you want something, you're going to go get it. And
Yeah.
really, to be that way, especially in this time,
Sure.
it is, uh, you know, I think that's awesome. Now, how did you, how did you discover that something was wrong with how did you discover your disability? How did you discover something happened? Can you share a little bit about that?
Yep, I sure can. I sure can. Because some may not know and some do know. I was not born with polymyositis. This is something that I was not born with, didn't have any traces of it. If someone could tell me you look like something wrong with you, you couldn't see it.
Mm-hmm.
If someone would have told me from a doctor's perspective that later on in life you're going to have this issue, I never received that type of information. And it actually happened after giving birth to my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And after having it given birth, they told me I explained that I felt heavy. The midwife, the same midwife that delivered my son, delivered my daughter. So I knew I was in good hands, because I've experienced things with her before.
Right.
But to go back at that 6-week checkup and I'm explaining that, hey, I feel heavy, and it took my grandma, who did not have any medical experience at all, but she had wisdom and she knew. When you would put my daughter in my arms would just drop.
Wow.
I couldn't stand up and hold her. You know how normally some people may stand up and rock the child to sleep and
Right.
things like
Right.
that?
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't do that. When it was time for me to feed my daughter, they had to give me a bot pillow because you had to put that around me, hold my arms for me, and place it on the pillow before you give me her because I can't hold her by myself anymore.
Wow.
So it took my grandmother telling me that it's something wrong with you and
Mm-hmm.
you need to go get help.
Mm-hmm.
I did
Mm-hmm.
it. Everyone told me I needed, midwife that delivered my daughter told me I needed to lose weight. And then the heaviness would come off. Nothing changed until I fell at work. Once I fell at work and couldn't get up, that's when we had to start figuring out what was wrong with me. And it took
Wow.
actually a year for the doctors to diagnose me with the muscle disease.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Did you see a lot of specialists?
I had been, DJ, let me tell you something. Not only that I had been to Hopkins first and they did do, muscle biopsy and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But while I was waiting for results from that, I decided let me go around to, a couple of more different
Right.
hospitals,
Mm-hmm.
to figure out if someone knows anything. And let me tell you something. At that time in my life, I'm going to be honest with you, I felt like I was living with the unknown because I didn't know anything.
Wow.
No one, even the medical doctors at that point, didn't know what was wrong with me. A lot of doctors told me, hey, you at the right place for it, Hopkins. I don't know what to tell you. I
Mm-hmm.
seen a rheumatoid arthritis doctor. She couldn't help me. Every doctor I went to told me that I was at the right place for it, which was Hopkins.
Mm-hmm.
And then it took a year for them to figure out what was wrong with me. And once they figured out what was wrong with me, okay, you think you okay now you know. But here's the thing. They tell you, we just learning about this, so it's a process for us. We
Right.
got to figure out ways to treat, someone like you. So then that comes up, part two of the unknown.
Yeah.
Finding
Yeah.
ways to treat you. And we struggle with that. Some things that work with some didn't work for me.
Right.
So we trying my doctor that I have been with him now for 12 years. He's like a father to me. And he takes me step by step with everything. He lets me know everything. If it's going to work or if it's not going to work, he gives me great opinions on what I should do. And let me tell you something, it has been a struggle to get to where I'm at today, to finally not live in my unknown.
Wow. I was gonna say that's one thing that scares me so bad is the fear of the unknown, and you to be wrapped in that for a year. I mean God had to be in your corner there because that's the unknown is, man, oh my gracious.
Let me tell you something, and to also be told by the first doctor to ever treat you after finding out what's wrong with you. He treated me and he looked at me and he said, Miss Thomas, what are we going to do with you? I don't know what to do anymore. I looked at him and asked, you asking me? You the doctor. You're supposed to tell me.
Right.
And he laughs at me. But I did learn some from him. But once I got with the doctor that I've had now for 12 years, it has been a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, and you know that proves that all doctors don't know everything.
You better
And they will tell you, but when you get one that you are comfortable with and that is comfortable with you and that will go to bat for you, that's hard to find in the medical world. I was reading some of the comments here that were being displayed, and Jill Rosa said, "My mom was my best advocate when I was growing up, and she taught me that you don't need to be mean, but yourself, and you are your best advocate."
That's right.
How did you accept your disability? How did you come to terms with it?
I'm not going to lie to you, DJ. I could honestly say maybe 4 years ago, maybe even 5, I have finally accepted it. I have finally determined I'm not going to allow polymyositis to run me.
Mm-hmm.
I have decided now that I'm not going to let it worry me. It is what it is. I have it. It don't have me. And guess what? I got to keep on going. I got to keep on fighting. That's all I got to do. I can't allow it to dictate to my life anymore.
How did you come to that determination?
When I got tired of sitting, snotting, and crying because I couldn't do what others was doing, or I couldn't go here, not knowing that I could do these things, but I wanted to snot and cry because I saw what other people were doing, and I want to do it just like them.
Right.
But I have to realize I can still do what they're doing. You're just going to take a little more time, or you may have to do it different from what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to come to that realization, and it took me a while to come up out of it and to not cry no more. DJ, let me tell you something. I cried a lot. I just cried, but I never questioned God. I never asked God why me. I never asked that. Because my grandmother taught me in life, why would you question God? Why not you? Who are you to say that you don't want to go through this or you don't want to go through that? You never know what's on the other side of what you're going through or who you're going to help along the way.
Girl, you talking about me being a pastor. Come on now.
Hey, it is what it is. And what I've learned, and I actually posted, God did it for a reason. I may not know why, or I may be living in that reason why. He did it, and now he's going to make something out of it.
Mm-hmm. Charles said this, docs don't know everything. They don't know about heart, and they don't know about fire, and that's true. That's.
He got that one right.
Whoo, man,
got that one right.
I'm gonna tell you, Miss Winnie on point with some of the topics she's helping me with, and I was gonna get to some of them, but I know she throwing them out there. So when Miss Winnie throw them out there, I'm gonna put them in because I go to bat for Miss Winnie because she the mama bear like we said on Saturday.
Yes,
but
she is.
I gotta ask you a question, and this might be a hard one, but I'm gonna throw it out there. I listened to some of the heartache that you went through, and in all that time and all that crap that you went through and all the where you had to come to grips with it. How did you not question God? I have to be honest. I would have questioned him, not in the sense of why me, but what are we going to do? How are we going to get through this? Did you have that? Did you have that moment?
You know what? To be honest with you, I think I may have had that moment, but it still goes back to what I was taught because I'm a church girl, born and raised in church. Grandmother was a pastor. Right. So, and still to this day, you have my mother that will read the Bible and tell you this and tell you that. Right. But I guess I may have had that moment, but didn't go through with it. Because I was going on what I had been taught.
So you had the power of your faith, and you believed that God was going to get you through no matter what the cost.
Yes, no matter what, he's going to bring me through. Now, don't get me wrong. Like I said before, I had my good days and I had my bad days and still do. But I just never really wanted to sit there and ask God, why me?
Sure.
I didn't want to.
I was that way before I was saved. Once I got saved, I realized what God was and how powerful he was. Now, this question here, how did your children come to grips with it? How did your children come to accept what was going on? Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. Now, you know what? I'm going to tell you this because a lot of people may not believe in it, but this is something that I had decided to do. Back in late 2014, I had watched my grandmother on my father's side take her last breath due to lung cancer, and then turned around in February of 2015 and saw my grandmother on my mom's side, who was the pastor, pass away. And then April of 2015, turn around and go get chemotherapy because they told me this would help wipe out my immune system and start me over. So I did all of that. We went through all of that. And to be honest with you, I had to do therapy. I had to get them in therapy because for them to go through that, having both great grandmoms passing back to back like that, and then to see your mom come home with a bald head, somebody's going to break down or something's going to happen.
Wow.
So I had to do counseling. It took counseling for me. It took counseling for my children, and then it took family therapy together. So I had to do that. I had to make that decision. And a lot of us frown upon, therapy and things like that, but that's what I had to do.
Whew. Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot.
You got me on that one. Wow. I mean, and this may sound like an odd question. How do you find a good therapist like that? I mean, that's a lot to deal with, like you said. I mean, did you have to go through a lot of them, like to find the right one?
You know what? To be honest with you, no, not at all. And living here, we live in Harford County. I just went through and figured out which one going to accept the insurance or not. And just so happened that the therapist that we had was amazing.
Good. And again, we're getting into something we covered Saturday. God's timing. God's timing.
There you go.
You girl, I'm gonna tell you what. You strong. I see strength in you. Got me speechless over here. I say that because look, I didn't know all of this. I didn't know all of this coming in, and to hear this out loud on Let Go and on Facebook Live, somebody's gonna learn from this. This right here is the true definition of strength. To come from that and have them, because my grandmother and grandfather passed 3 months apart.
Okay.
I mean, so you and I got you and I got a little bit of a relation there, but I want to read this as well. Jill said this: I think it's much harder for an individual who finds out that they are disabled later in life than someone that is born with the disability. How do you feel about that?
You know what? It's true to a certain point. I agree with her to a certain point because when you're able-bodied, quote unquote, you're able-bodied, you getting up, you doing this, you're independent, and sometimes it may become a struggle because you're not used to living the new you, living the new life that you've just been dropped into. This is not something that comes with a mat. Now this is something where you got to figure out this, figure out that, and now you got to learn how to do this and do that. So it's true to a certain point because you have to find yourself.
Exactly.
Being independent, not dependent on anyone to do anything for you, and now you're at a point where you have to have help getting to the bathroom and to get your hair done. So yeah, it's a little struggle there, a little. But you just got to find your groove and work it.
Miss Wilson's got a great question here. Do you think you would have made it to where you are now if you hadn't gotten therapy and family therapy?
No way. I think I would have still been bitter, angry, mad, upset, useless, hopeless, worthless, and list can go on and on with all the negativity. I think that I would have been continuing on that path if I didn't get the help that I really needed.
I I got to be honest. This right here, this one's getting me. I and I don't see. I I've been through a lot, but this here,
We all have.
but this right here, I mean, and the fact that your children went through it too,
Yeah.
that's a whole nother level.
Yes.
When your children go through, and see, I'm not a father, so I don't know. But I tell you this, I could not imagine my kids having to go through something like that and worry about their mom, and like you said, having already lost their grandmother and and grandfather both passing,
Yes.
and then this. Goodness gracious, the strength of your children is unbelievable.
Who you telling? I tell you, when I look at them, I tell you, they are the true definition of why mommy gonna get up and why mommy's gonna keep on fighting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because if I could watch them sit there and, I mean, sometimes they're gonna have their bad days, they're gonna have their good days, but they don't allow anything negative to be said or done to their mom. They can go to the doctor and tell you everything that's going on with mommy. My son, he's my bodyguard. He's what, 215 pounds, 5'8". He can lift me up. This boy picks me up like I'm a piece of paper.
And you said he's 15?
He's 14, going on 15.
Shoo! That's a tall drink of water at 14. Great. Hey.
Well, his father's 6'3".
Good God.
Time I was 5'7". I made her strong because I'm taller. He's taller than me.
Dang.
Yep, for him to be able to lift me up like a piece of paper, even my daughter, they can pick their mommy up and help me transfer from my bed to a chair.
You know, you told me it when we were talking before we got on the air. I'm going to say this. You said I'm an open book.
Sure.
You weren't kidding. I've done this show, a little over 2 years, and I've had guests to reach me. I mean, I'm 32 minutes into the show, tears just flowing because there's a realness to this, and I gotta bring this out because if I don't, people gonna miss it.
Yes.
See, Jill talked about something important. People that are born with disabilities have time to adapt.
Yes.
Okay, people that are born with different birth defects and things like that have time to adapt. When it hits you and you just had a new baby and you trying to hold your daughter and you can't hold your daughter in your arms,
yeah,
you go through the thought, what in the world? And I can't say what I'm thinking. What in the world is going on?
You better believe it.
But now, the fact of the matter is, your children, like you said, are holding you up. Mm-hmm. But in a sense, it's a mental battle as much as it is physical, and they're there for you too. Come on, mommy, you can do it. You got this. I mean, that's the support system we've been talking about, all through all of this.
Yes.
Whew. God
I mean,
almighty.
for them to speak up, not in a disrespectful way, but they can speak up and say, my mom not going to take that because it has this in it. Oh, no, my mom can't do that because she can't get up like you can, but I can help her, and you're just going to have to wait.
J.P. Jackson said this: people ask me all the time how I cope with not being able to walk. My response is usually that I'm okay. I never know anything else to me not walking. It's my normal. See, that's what he's saying. That he's used to it. But this right here chucked you in the gut with a dodgeball you weren't ready for.
Let me tell you, DJ, you're talking to a person that was working, went to college, got a job, did this, did that, by myself, no help from nobody. And then to turn around and you tell me I got to tell somebody, please come here, help me use the bathroom, please. That's a gut wrencher.
Oh.
It's going to hit you in the gut.
Man, I'm looking at this, and Ms. Wilson said something. You know, this condition changed your whole life.
It sure did.
It
In a matter of seconds.
Yeah, and it's like, see, that's we were talking about time, and I want to mention this because it's so valuable. This right here is so valuable. But I want to ask you a question in this too.
Sure.
We all think we got unlimited time. Unlimited time. And you, like you said, you were going to college and raising children and working, and all of a sudden, it hits you.
Yes.
In that moment, in your darkest moment, in your darkest and scariest moment, when you were coming to terms with this, when you were trying to figure out what was wrong, when you were going through what you were going through, what brought you out of it?
Prayer from my grandmother.
Mm.
Prayer. And then I started thinking, if I go down, what if I pass away? Who's going to take care of my children?
Wow.
Nobody's going to do for my children like I can do for them. So you got to get up.
Right.
They don't have that father in their lives, so you got to get up. They're going to need you one day, regardless of the situation that you're in, so you got to get up.
Y'all need to share this. I'm telling you. Y'all watching this show right now, y'all need to share this, because this is going to grab the hold of somebody and shake them to their very core. I'm a radio host. I'm a man. I'm tough, but I'm telling you right now, this is going to wake somebody up. Because I've seen people go through stuff, and I've heard some rockers, boy. But this one here about knocked me on my butt. I mean, and I'm not. Y'all know me. I'm not gonna hide nothing. Now, I want to say this real quick because Charles actually shared his quote here, and it says, "Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond." Let me get this pulled up. Sorry about that. Where did he go? Goodness gracious. I'm sorry. Powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child. You are a child of God. You playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest in the glory of God that is within us. It is not just some of us. It is in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, from our own presence, automatically liberates others. Wow.
There you go. You gotta find your light and let it shine.
And you know what? I'm gonna say this, Shana. You are a shining example of shining through. I cannot say anything else but that. After hearing this, and this is just pieces, y'all. Yeah, we've been talking 38 minutes and 24 seconds, and Let Go Radio and Facebook Live is on fire right now. The comments that are coming in here, woo!
Keep them coming.
I seriously, I just want to say, I thought I've been through it, man.
You're surprised.
But see, sometimes it takes this. You know, I'm sure you've heard that expression, Miss Shana. There's always somebody worse off than you.
Bingo.
I'm just like, good, great idea. I mean, in all of this, and it's not. But see, you're not. Oh, woe is me. Now I'm sure you had those moments.
Yeah, we all had.
Girl, your fire and your inspiration and your determination to be sunshine on wheels, and we come into that in just a minute.
There you go.
To be sunshine, girl, you light up my life, girl. Come on now.
It's a ring. It's a ticket. There you go. It's a reason for it. Now we know. It's a reason for it. Yes.
Whew, Lord, I can't cry no more. Okay. Tell me about Sunshine on Wheels. How did you come to that? Just
You know what? To be honest with you, I had been friends with Mrs. Wilson on Facebook. I don't know how it came about, but I actually messaged her. And, I said, well, I want to do a podcast. And I was explaining to her, being a single mom of two living with a disability, you don't hear a lot of parents that are, disabled that speak on their children, that may have children or not, whether you married or single. You don't hear a lot of it in the community. So I felt as though I wanted to reach out to somebody that could guide me, lead me, and help me and point me in the right direction. So that's why I got in contact with Mrs. Wilson. In July of last year, I started with Let Go Radio, and I've been going ever since then. And to be honest with you, she has been one of the people that's been pushing me, showing me not to be afraid, to open up and share, to let everyone know. And I tell you, she makes you get out and go get it. She just makes you go get it.
well. Here's the thing I want you to think about. Your light shining within you has been such a light for others.
Yes.
And Miss Wilson knows when that light is there. She
found it.
She is so good at seeing the light in people, and for lack of better terms, just bringing it out so that they, can be a light for others. Now there's two quotes here, two small things here I want to read. One from Jill and one from JP. JP said this: the social aspects of being disabled are often more difficult than the physical aspects, in his opinion. In some cases, I believe that. What do you think?
You know what? I can say yes and no to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I kind of agree to one point, but then the other, no.
Okay. What's the point you agree on?
Okay, now read it back to me, and I'm going to break it down to you. Let's start off at the top.
The social aspects of being disabled are often more difficult than the physical aspects, in my opinion.
Okay, the social, I would say I would agree with, because some that may have their disability and may be ashamed and don't want to, be out in the world and decide that they want to keep that to themselves because they are worried about what others may think or what others may say. So they refuse to be sociable. They don't want to talk. They don't want to share. I can see that. But the physical part, although you can't do everything like others, you still find a way to do it. So that's why I say it's 50-50 there.
We got so many. Good Lord. Jill said this: that is why I need to rely on God, because I can't see the whole picture, our whole life, but God does.
Yes, he does.
Miss Wilson said this: because she is a brilliant ray of sunshine. Took the words right out my mouth. Just reached in there and took them out.
Miss Wilson, thank you.
And Jill said, thank you for allowing God to use you and share your story.
Thank you, Jill.
So right now in the present, I want to move forward just a little bit because this hour is going so quick on me. Lord, I wish I had another one. Goodness gracious.
We should do a part 2.
Your girl, 3, 4, 6, 7.
Oh, sir.
Goodness gracious. So where is your mental faculties now? Where are you now, right now, mentally? Because I want to talk about that. We talked a lot about the physical. I want to talk about the mental standpoint of where you are right now and how you battle with that every day.
Okay, mentally now, after, counseling, prayer, and things like that, I'm at a point where I'm unstoppable.
Tell me, girl.
I can do anything I put my mind to, and no one's going to tell me different.
Wow.
I have a voice. I want to advocate and help those that need help. and I'm waking up every day stronger mentally, may not be physically, but mentally I'm stronger.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If I could sit here and tell a story with you, and you know what, I would like to go back and I'm going to look through my Facebook to see the video that I did with my very first interview with Miss Wilson. I snotted and cried.
Mm-hmm.
Cried because I knew that I may have not been over it yet, but to sit here with you and tell you the same thing over again and not snot and cry, I know I'm free of this.
But see, you can admit that. See, you see what I'm saying, and that's the acceptance that's Miss Wilson's talking about. And she just said, "Come back on Friday." Let me know. Let me let you know. I'm coming back on Friday. This right here. Look, guys, this is a powerful example of what disability is about.
Yeah.
There is nothing that Shana can't do. We talked about this. We talked about it Saturday. This means not. You take it and say not able. I believe that this right here is the reason that people need to stop thinking that they can't and start realizing that they can't, that they can. It is, you got living proof.
Yeah,
Okay, because this right here this almost took her down to death. I mean, you can't get no lower than almost dying. Okay, so let's call it what it is. This right here is a true stepping stone to show people in the world who have gone through it, and there are people who have gone through it.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That they can, but they gotta have, number one, you gotta have God in your life.
Bingo.
And number two, you gotta have the support system.
Yeah, you gotta have faith.
You gotta have, and but you gotta believe.
There you go.
And talking about the faith, I look at this and seeing what you've gone through, and I'm going, and Charles said, I seem like a wuss compared to this woman. And people are being real on here. This is what we need.
Strong.
This is what we need right here. The realization and the realism that when life hits you in the face, sometimes life is going to punch you in the mouth.
Who you telling?
And I mean, it's going to punch you in the mouth and it's going to hit you in the gut and you're going to get knocked back.
Yes.
But see,
but it all depends on how you get up.
That it's not how hard you get hit. It's what you do after you get hit, and do you keep going?
Yes.
See, that's the truth right there. Edwina said it. God first in everything. And people can say I get too religious on this. I've had them people. Look, y'all need to realize God done saved me. I'm keeping him in the show. Y'all don't like it. Y'all show free enough to walk right on. I ain't no problem.
Hello.
Look.
Hello.
Nothing against anybody up here, but I'm keeping God first. I'm sorry.
There you go.
I'm sorry. I understand two things, and I want to, before we get to your social media, Shana, I want to ask you this.
Sure.
I want you to deliver a message to people who are struggling, to people who feel like they're at the end of their rope and they can't make it. Talk to them, disabled or not. People in general who feel like they're at the end and they can't take it. Give them a message to keep going.
You know what? I would like to let everyone know out there, I've been there. We've all been there. Some may be still there. Trying to figure things out. Wondering whether you're going to make it another day. Wondering whether life is worth living. Wondering why me. Wondering what else do I have to take to bear the pain that I'm bearing. But what you have to realize is everything is done for a reason. You may not know why it's here, but it's here for a reason. God did it. You don't question. You just go through that process. You keep working hard. You can't give up now. Don't give up, because guess what? If you give up, you're going to show that next person that may be in your situation that just give up. It's not worth it anymore. You don't need to do this. You don't need to be here. That is not true. Don't believe none of that negativity. You get up, you keep on fighting, you live to see another day. You're unstoppable. Can't no one stop you. Just do it. That's all you gotta do. Just get up and do it. Of course, you won't want to lay down, fall out, cry, snot. Been there, done it. You get up and do it again. If it takes you crying 99 times a day and then you get that one time where you can smile, so be it. At least you're still here to do it the next day. Just keep on going, stay determined, keep on fighting. And if nobody likes it, who cares about them? You do you and keep on rolling in the sunset.
Great day in the morning. That's it right now. That's life. That's life,
Yeah,
y'all.
because you're going to get knocked down. It's just a matter of how you choose to get up or if you're going to choose to get up.
I'm going to say this, and I ain't afraid to say it, and I ain't trying to offend nobody because I've had a lot of great guests on my show. But Shana, you, girl, is something in your story, the power of it, the phenomenalness of it, the understanding of just the realism of the pain that you had to go through. What do you want your children to remember? The last question I have for you before we get your social media, because I want to get this out. What do you want your children to remember most about you?
My mommy never gave up.
Girl, I said I weren't gonna cry no more.
That's all I can say. My mommy never gave up. Although I've seen her cry, snot, struggle, not know where this was going to come from, not know where that was going to come from, my mother never gave up.
Wow. Yeah, Miss Wilson said it's her spirit, and I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. How can we reach him? How can we reach you, Miss Shana? How can we get in contact with you? Because people need to know.
Sure. Can I let you know? I can be reached, of course, on Facebook at Shana Thomas, Sunshine on Wheels, single, disc dash, because we dashing that disc. Able parents, where you can come on there, and if you want to talk about anything with your children, whether you're married or single or not, you don't even have to be a parent. If you have any advice you want to give, I could be reached there also. My email account, Shana Thomas, numbers 28@gmail.com, sunshineonwheels@gmail.com. Instagram, Miss Sunshine 0428. I tell you, I can be reached anyway.
Listen, I'm gonna share this show as soon as this broadcast is over, and I want you to go in the comments and I want you to put that information in there. Okay? Now, guys, I'm telling you, if you are struggling and you need somebody to talk to and you want a story that's gonna change your life, watch this show.
Hello.
If you want to talk to somebody that has been, you got to understand. Okay, this was a week. Okay, we done this a whole week, and I'm coming back on Friday. Okay, that's how powerful and how real this is. That's what life is about. Because what we're doing right now is we're hitting real life. You talking about all the way down deep, and they say rock bottom. Shana understands what rock bottom is. Her children understand what rock bottom is because they've seen it.
Yes.
But here's the thing. As she said before, and she said it 3 or 4 times on this episode, you got to be able to get back up.
Yes.
Now, whether you have help getting up or not, listen to this. Whether you have help getting up or not is not the question. Nobody said you couldn't have help getting up.
Yes, there you go. It's how you use it.
With CP, with spinal ability. Say your disability one more time.
Polymyositis.
Polymyositis. Boy, I'm gonna get that right. I'm telling you, it really You got to have help. Look, folks, you can't do it alone. You cannot do this alone. And if you think you can,
good luck.
You're gonna find out real quick. And sometimes you don't find out real quick. You can do it on your own for a while. Everybody can do it on your own for a while. But I promise you, there will be a point where you get overwhelmed and you can say what you want, feel how you want to feel. I'm telling you, it is real life. The way Miss Jill just said it, the way you present yourself, great day. You touch some people on here, Miss Shana.
Thank you very much.
Including me. And please understand, I had never heard. I listened to I've listened to the show with Miss Wilson, but not like this. Doing the interview personally and going through it and hearing it and like just wanted to reach out and just hug you if you were here right now.
And what some fail to realize is that when you see my show, Sunshine on Wheels, every Saturday at 6 p.m. On www.letgoradio.net, I'm telling my story. Every Saturday, I'm telling my story.
Yep.
Although I may have a topic, but that's something that I have dealt with in my life. And although I've only been here 35 years, I still got ways to go. But I've seen and done a lot within these 35 years that I think I can share with somebody.
Well, one thing that I realized, Miss Shana, is I'm looking forward to the next 35.
Me too.
Because if you've shared this much in this 35 and you've reached this many people in this 35, I am looking forward to the next 35.
Absolutely.
Guys, look, I want to say this before we end. We got about 4 minutes left. Watch this show. Share this show. Put this show in your groups. If you got somebody who is struggling, send them this show. I am telling you to send them this show. Share it. I want this show to go viral. This show needs to go viral because there are so many people that live in the negative and forget to turn it positive. It is just amazing to go through this. Thank you for that, Jill. That is amazing. I'm willing to be a friend and a listening ear to anyone who needs me. Feel free to PM me. That's awesome. Thank you.
That's right.
It is just amazing to hear a story that can change your life. But you know what? You got to open your heart up a little bit and be willing to listen.
There you go.
You got to be willing to listen. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to My CP Does Not Define Me. Thank you so much, Miss Shana, for being a guest on my show today. I loved having you. It was great. We look forward. Guys, we're going to be back on Friday, and I will share this, and I will share Friday. We may do a part 3, may do a part 4. I don't know. This is going to go on for a little bit, but I'm going to bring Miss Shana back on Friday because there's more that I want to get into that 1 hour just couldn't cover, because I'm telling you, 1 hour weren't enough. But this right here is the most powerful story I've ever heard. And I've heard a lot of stories. And I ain't afraid to say that it's the most powerful story I've ever heard. But the reason that it's so powerful is because of her attitude and her spirit and her determination and her children and her support system that she has had all through this time. Share this, share this, share this. I'm begging you, those that are out there listening to this right now, share this show. If you don't do anything else today, share this show. You got a person that's contemplating their life? Share this show.
Wow.
It happens. Guys, get out there and listen to this. Dan, you can go back and watch it, brother. I'm telling you, it is phenomenal. Go back and watch this show. Guys, I got a minute. I'm going to leave you with this. Every person in the world has a thought. But to make a thought reality, you have to show action. And that's where we are right now. Shana Thomas has been my guest. Catch her show on Saturday at 6. Sunshine on Wheels. She is phenomenal. Share this show. Guys, I love you so much. And as I say always, if you can't be good, be bad, but be good at it. This is D to the J with the roll away. And my CP does not define you, me, or you for that matter. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Guys, take it easy. I love y'all so much.